into us. Chris Packham there.
We're going to stay outside. We're going to get some fresh air. We're going to head to the garden because we've got an amazing story which kind of starts in the garden. Lots of companies and organisations have had to take a long, hard look at recent years at the way in which they recruit and treat female employees.
Yeah, but the Royal Horticultural Society is looking into an incident of sexual discrimination with a bit of a difference. Now, this took place 120 years ago, and Helen Briggs can explain it to us.
The turn of the century, Queen Victoria's on the throne, but women still can't vote, serve on a jury, or, as it turns out, win a prize to train as a gardener. This box revealed the prize that had been won but never given, for one simple reason: the winner was a woman.
Clearly a very determined young woman. She's entered this exam and she's done well, and she claims her rightful prize, and she single-handedly has sent the RHS into a bit of a tailspin.
Her name was msHarrison, and after getting top marks, she should have been given the equivalent of £5,000 and a training scholarship, but that never happened. Scrawled over a document, the words of Reverend William Wilkes, then leader of the RHS, it was never contemplated that a female might claim the scholarship.
Although she may not personally have succeeded, she's chipping away at that sense that women can't do these things.
If she'd been awarded that prize today, she would have trained here at RHS Wisley, and who knows where her career might have taken her. A picture's starting to emerge of the mysterious msHarrison. We know from the syllabus of the exam she took that she was well versed in all the main principles of gardening, from the names and orders of plants to growing fruit. And student gardeners say it's hard to imagine women being excluded.
It makes me feel very frustrated and angry. I would hate to have been restricted in that way, and I'm grateful for the people who've gone before that make it possible. But we still need to go further to make sure everyone's included.
msHarrison paved the way for a new generation of gardeners. The RHS wants to make sure her name's not forgotten. They think her family may have letters that can tell them more about her.
I'd really love to know what happened next. Did she carry on fighting? Did she carry on into a career in horticulture and make a living that way? I'm just really curious to know what happened to msHarrison, because she's clearly a character. And, you know, did she prevail?
And with your help, maybe they'll finally solve the mystery. Helen Briggs, BBC News.
Who is she?
Yeah.
What was the story? What did she end up doing because she couldn't take that scholarship? If anybody knows, do get in touch with us, because the Royal Horticultural Society want to know how that story ended. Alison Gooding is from the RHS. You're the garden manager at Harlow Car, is that?
I am. Yes, I am.
When you hear those stories, that particular story, I mean, it's tragic, really, isn't it?
Yeah, it's really tragic, and but it makes me really kind of proud to work for an organisation that's changed so much. Obviously, things were very culturally different back there for many women, but you know, it really hadn't occurred to me that actually may have happened in horticultural training, in education. So it's fantastic that we are where we are as the RHS today, in what we're able to provide for men and women in the training programme.
Because the training that msHarrison wanted to do is what you actually did. So could you imagine you being told you couldn't do it because you're a woman?
No, I think it'd just be absolutely shocking. I mean, there's nothing within the job that I do and that our team do that a woman or a man can't do.
It's the fact that she was just sort of rejected outright, just because she was a woman. There was not an attempt to interview her or find out more about it. It's just, we didn't expect this. No, stamp.
Yeah, it's quite shocking, isn't it? It's but like I said, it's, you know, it's amazing where we've actually got to today, and 53% of our intake this year in students and apprentices is actually female. So it's really encouraging that more and more women do actually want to come into it.
And has that changed quite a lot over the last few years?
It's been a steady increase. There's and now we have the apprenticeships running. There's a lot more younger women coming into it. So 3 of our 4 apprentices at Harlow Car are female, and young women. So that's really encouraging.
I can understand the appeal of a gardening career on a nice sunny summer's day. Looking at the weather forecast for the last few days and looking ahead to winter, does your heart sink and think, oh, why am I doing this?
Well, I've been doing it for long enough now that you kind of take the rough with the smooth and the freezing with the heat waves, and I think that's part of it. It's the seasonality of the job that kind of makes you enjoy it more. And when you go through the really tough times and the snow drifts, we had that awful weather in 2010, 2011, where we spent a lot of the day just clearing snow and actually trying to find some of the plants and and knocking the snow off the trees to stop them getting damaged. So yeah, it's all part of it, and it's the seasonality, and it's a real kind of privilege to kind of witness nature.
You've got to love it, haven't you? And I guess that's the thing. You can tell that msHarrison clearly loved it, and yet didn't have that opportunity.
Yes, and that's what makes it such a shame. I really hope that she went on to actually find either employment or training elsewhere if it wasn't with the RHS. So that's what we'd really like to find out.
Yeah, because you're kind of appealing for information, aren't you, to try and solve the mystery of what happened?
Yes, definitely, because what we have in the archives is the RHS communication to her, but we don't have anything back from her to explain who she was, where she lived, and she may have been somebody's distant relative that can actually shed some light on the story. So we'd really like to complete it so we can tell the whole story.
Yeah. I think all we know is that she had some connection to Kent. Is that right?
Yes, I believe she was from Swanley. I'm from Kent originally, so and it's the Garden of England. So I'd really love for there to be a happy end to this story.
Well, let's hope so. Alison, thank you very much for coming in to talk to us. That's it from us. Have a lovely weekend, whatever you're doing.
Have fun. Bye-bye.